Hopefully, yep. We're not having mic problems again. Yay. So let's get right into the college game day overlook because, why not? I guess this is going to become a reoccurring thing. And games kick off in just under 25 minutes as of recording this. So let's get right into it. And it's the Battle of the Red River first between Oklahoma and Texas. 3-point spread. See, it seems like it's going to be a very good game between Spencer Rattler and Casey Thompson, both quarterbacks of each team. And when it comes down to this game, I don't know. This is going to come down to the wire. And soon, this is going to be... There's two ways this can go. Either both teams compete or it's a bloodbath to one team, and the bloodbath part's not going to happen most likely, but at the end of the day, I think Oklahoma's going to win this. But it can go either way, and it's going to be a one-score game, so I'm probably going to be wrong on this. Maryland's got Ohio State. Not much to say there. Ohio State should destroy Maryland. I mean, they got beat last week. They should get beat this week and go to 4-2 after starting 4-0. Michigan State's got Rutgers. That might be a good game. I think the line has it closer than it's going to be. I think this is probably going to be a 2-score gap to Michigan State. Although, I don't want to count Rutgers out just because. I have a feeling I just don't want to count them out. But yeah, I don't know why I have that feeling. But so far, Thorne for the Michigan State Spartans has had a way better performance than Verdal over on Rutgers' side. And Michigan State's rushing attack has been there for most of the season compared to not very much from Rutgers. But Michigan State's going into this and is going to try to keep themselves undefeated and high in the rankings. And looking at this, looking a little bit deeper into this, I don't think Rutgers is going to do very much, but I don't know how much Michigan State's going to do either. And then you've got Arkansas, Ole Miss, another ranked battle. Both teams lost last week to get dropped down to 3-1 and 4-1 respectively. The current line on this is 5 to Ole Miss. I'm going to have to give this one to Ole Miss. With Matt Corral at quarterback and how he is doing and how he is as a quarterback, I got to take them. I don't think Arkansas has as good of a quarterback in Jefferson, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be a close game, but I think I just have more faith in Ole Miss's quarterback spot. And when it comes down to it, Ole Miss, even though they played Alabama last week, are still third nationally in yards a game and fifth in scoring at 44.8 points per game. I don't think Arkansas is going to keep up with that. The Razorbacks' defense is ninth in the nation, but all in all, I just think, like I said, this offense and this Ole Miss quarterback and Matt Corral just are a lot better in my eyes. So I'm going to have to give that one to Ole Miss. Then you've got Vanderbilt, Florida. Should just be a Florida route. Not much to say about that. I am going to skim through a couple games. Baylor, West Virginia. That might be a good game. I don't know if it'll be as close as the line predicts. But that still can be a good game. Bohannon's been doing good. He hasn't turned the ball over yet in terms of throwing picks. I'm not sure on fumbles. He may have one or two, but that's probably about it. And this will be close. I don't know. I really don't on this game. I think it has the possibility to be close, but I don't think it will be. Skimming a couple more games. Apparently, the line on the Georgia Tech Duke game is 4.5 points, but to Georgia Tech. But I don't think it'll be that close. Duke's not that good, and Georgia Tech's not that bad. Georgia Auburn, another ranked battle. That's Georgia easily. Auburn's gonna get routed, and Bo Nix is gonna hold another loss. JT Daniels is back this week. I know he was injured previously in the season. He is back this week. And I mean, this is going to be Auburn's. This is going to be Auburn getting put back in their place. This Georgia defense has been stopping a lot of teams, only allowing 4.6 points a game, and scoring 41 points a game. And while Auburn may have the better offense this year with 478 points or yards a game, this Georgia defense is so good that I don't know if they're gonna hit 300. Because Georgia has allowed 177.8 yards a game, and that's 110 passing and 67.8 rushing. Auburn's lets up a lot more passing yards, over 100 more. So all in all, I think if you can get the passing game going and Georgia's defense can hold down the fort, easy win for Georgia. They get to stick at number 2. BYU Boise State. This is going to be a good game, but ultimately I'm going to have to give it to BYU as much as I hate to say it. I haven't been a big fan of BYU through the year. I hate giving them credit right now, but they're doing good. I don't know how good Boise State is at this point, because looking at how they're playing, it looks okay. But they haven't. The best opponent they've played is Oklahoma State. That's about it. Maybe UCF if you consider them kind of good, but they lost to both of them. So I don't necessarily know what Boise State you're going to get, as to where BYU has beat Utah and ASU when they were both ranked. And they're just on a roll. They're 5-0. And not only that, they're putting up almost 30 points a game and only allowing about 20, while also getting 400 yards a game, just over. So I don't think Boise State's got enough to nearly stop that. Wake Forest has Syracuse this week. Ooh. I don't think Wake Forest is necessarily this good right now. And I have confidence in Syracuse because you got to shut down Sean Tucker. You've really got to try to shut down Sean Tucker. Because I don't think Schrader should be the quarterback. I think it's DeVito's team. I think DeVito should be playing quarterback. But whatever, it is what it is. If Schrader does bad, they will put in DeVito at some point, and I'm hoping they do. Taj Harris hasn't been super great this year because he was in and out of the lineup at one point. He was out for the Albany game, and Tucker's been getting a lot of the receptions. Because right now not really, but he's got 9 receptions for 175 and 1 TD in the passing game only. So, all in all, I think this one's going to be closer than everyone thinks. While Wake Forest is a good team, I don't know if you can shut down Syracuse. And to shut them down, you have to shut down their run game. That's their big strength. And right now, Wake Forest isn't doing the greatest at stopping the run game. And a lot of their games this year haven't really been close, but the closest game was Louisville, and I don't know about Florida State, because they've been on and off all year. As to where Syracuse just barely lost to Florida State, and hasn't really had the biggest opponents, but they're still good. I still have a lot of faith in Sean Tucker. I actually went to see them play Albany, because they're both New York teams, and that was a fun game to watch Sean Tucker just destroy that defense. But I don't know. I may be wrong. I'm not sure. SMU versus Navy. Easy, SMU. But I will say this: the Naval Academies always have a chance. The military academies always have a chance, just because with how they recruit, they get guys who can run the triple option well and run those offenses very well. And even though they may get like bottom of the barrel guys or not that great guys, they can destroy you because they get guys that are good at running their offense and executing their offense. And I never count them out anymore. I've learned this multiple times in a row. Never count out the military academies. Because sometimes they get slept on and they come out of the gates quick, and then it's a nightmare. But going on to other games, Florida State, North Carolina. Florida State's not really a good team, but North Carolina's also kind of regressed compared to where they thought, or where everyone thought they would be. Sam Howell's not having top quarterback numbers like I thought he would. Or he's not performing like a top quarterback, I should say. He's having good numbers. But easily should be North Carolina. Should. But I don't know. I'm very iffy on North Carolina this year. Wisconsin, Illinois. Wisconsin kind of fell off a cliff, which I didn't expect. And Illinois is a team where they're up and down too, but I think Wisconsin gets it back together this week and wins. And although I think it could be close because, they've struggled at times this year. Very bad. Very bad. Okay, looking farther down the list, we've got Penn State, Iowa. This is going to be a good game. I'm taking Iowa in the end. I'm sorry, any Penn State fans that are watching this. If it's AK, Mitch, anybody, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take Iowa here. I just see them as the better squad as of right now. Because Iowa, even though they're not necessarily putting up more yards this season, they are averaging more points. They've got a very good defense. And when it comes down to it, ultimately, I just believe a lot more in Iowa State than I do Penn State as of right now. I mean, Iowa, I think, has a slightly underrated defense. I don't think the stats do it justice, so. And they were in a close game against CSU, and they shouldn't have been, but we won't talk about that. But this will be a good game, even if I'm wrong. This will be a good game. The 3 and the 4 seeds. Someone's going to get knocked down. Okay, going further down. There's not super many good games. But Oregon State, Washington State could be a good game. I think Oregon State is better, but I don't count Washington out yet. Washington State, I mean. Because Oregon State's offense has been rolling. And I mean that literally. But their defense isn't that great either. So time will tell what happens in this game. And let's not forget Oregon State beat USC, and Washington State didn't. But then again, USC isn't. I don't know about them this year. I don't. I will be the first one to say that. That's why I'm scared about the game in 2 weeks. I'm going to be at that game, and I'm still scared to death of USC because it's a rivalry game. TCU, Texas, 7 o'clock game. Now, as much as I want to say TCU just to see the world burn, because that kind of be funny, I'm going to say Texas Tech. Now, Texas Tech did lose to SMU, but TCU lost to SMU, but they are kind of bouncing back. And hold on, I want to check that to make sure because I'm not having a great day with reading today. Yep, TCU's last 2 games have been losses to SMU and Texas. Both of them have been within about a score, so that'll be interesting. And then Texas Tech's coming off a loss, destruction more or less, to Texas and a win over West Virginia. So this will be good. Both teams are putting up around the range, or about 35 points a game, but Texas Tech's defense is allowing 3 more points a game, although they're allowing less yards. And both teams are allowing about similar production in terms of total yards, but Texas Tech is a bit more pass heavy than Texas or TCU. So this will be interesting. This will definitely be close, and no matter who I pick up, I don't feel safe about the pick, so either one can win, but Texas Tech I'm going to have to go with right now. Michigan, Nebraska. I think this was a trap game. Nebraska's very up and down, but they're very underrated too. And Michigan's good. I think they win, but ultimately, I can't count out Nebraska because I really can't. McNamara has been good, but Cade McNamara for Michigan has been kind of inaccurate at times, and it's not really a problem of not comfortable in the pocket. It's more he's just underthrowing or overthrowing or having problems, and at the end of the day, that's not going to get you anywhere. Blake Corum, they started moving away from the run game, which brings me into Blake Corum. Haskins is their power back. It's probably going to be more of a 1-2 between him and Corum, but I think Corum's going to be the lead guy today. And when it comes down to it, you've got to watch out for both of them. And I think they go back a little bit more to the run game today. And then on defense, Nebraska has to watch out for Aiden Hutchinson because the kid's been on a tear. So, all in all, I think when it comes to Michigan, I think this is going to be a more run-oriented game this week. And I think they're going to have to go for it because Nebraska has been in games with Michigan State and Oklahoma, both one-score games. They took Michigan State to overtime. So we've got to watch out and see what Nebraska really does this week. And they also lost to Illinois in quote-unquote week 0, which I find kind of funny. But next game on the list, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech. I talked about this in a video earlier today. Go check that out. But I will do the brief skim through of that game. I think Notre Dame's going to win. It's going to be close because it's a 7:30 game in Virginia Tech, which is kind of scary. Getting Tosh Baker and Michael Carmody back, it's going to depend on getting whoever's quarterback comfortable in the pocket, giving them time, and them making those accurate throws. I shouldn't really worry about the defense as of right now, although I really am worried about the defense. But the main key is going to be getting whoever is quarterback comfortable in the pocket and giving them time to throw, because that's been something that we've really needed to work on for a couple weeks, and all in all, it's going to have to happen sooner or later. LSU, Kentucky. Kentucky is 5-0. Who would have thought? They are 5-0 and 3-0 in the SEC. How? But they're very good. I think they're coming in underestimated to this game, and I'm gonna have to give it to Kentucky. I don't think LSU is gonna win this because they've been on a downhill since Joe Burrow left. It's kind of an up year since then, or since last year, but it's still. I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence in them. And although Kentucky has been scoring less, they've also been allowing less points. And their defense has been doing a bit better than LSU's. Quite a bit better. So, I mean, they beat Florida, of all teams, in an upset win. So, I think that kind of reaffirms that they're someone to not underestimate. And that's going to be the key this week. Alabama A&M, this game, Alabama's going to run away with it. We already know. The only thing I'll really say about this game is A&M, don't get your quarterback killed. Because this is going to be a nightmare. Because Calzada's already doing not great. He's almost 50% on the year for completion percentage. 744 yards, 5 TDs, 4 picks. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is their game at all. If they can beat Bama, I will take that because I love seeing Bama lose, but it won't happen. Not this week. Utah USC. I'm shaking my head right now. I know you can't see it, but I am. I'm taking Utah. USC has been downhill for a while. And with how this game is, it's going to be competitive. And I know Brewer hasn't had the best season right now with where he is, but USC is not where they were supposed to be. This is going to be either a back and forth game. I don't know who's going to win this, really. Because as much as I want to say Utah, and I hope to say Utah, both USC's been weird this year. They were supposed to be ranked, supposed to continue what they did last year. Cliff. Them, cliff, off cliff is them going. They went off a cliff. And I did a hand gesture there, and as I did it, I was like, I'm not on camera, why am I doing a hand gesture? But, this is kind of damn heavy. But all in all, this is going to be very close, like the line says. It's a 3. And I think it comes down to who's got the ball last, or who scores last. And the last game I'm talking about before we get to the games that happened Thursday and Friday is San Diego State, New Mexico. I don't even know how San Diego State got ranked. I didn't know they were undefeated. But hey, props to them. And this should easily be their game. But if San Diego State goes back to normal and all of a sudden falls apart, I wouldn't be surprised either. So this game should be good for the first half. But I don't know if San Diego State's good yet. I need to see them beat a good team. Alright, so games already happened. Thursday, you had Coastal Carolina put on a clinic as they beat Arkansas State 52-20, like they should have, as a top 10 or top 25 team, and pretty much just walked in and walked out and just said, "Yeah, that was easy. What's next?" And their defense held up, getting 1 interception, 1 turnover, so. They pretty much showed up, won, and did what they needed to do, and that was win. Not much to say on that game. Cincinnati on to the next game. Cincinnati destroys Temple 52-3 to make Temple 3-3 and put them in their place. I was hoping by some odd chance that Cincinnati loses, but that didn't happen. I just want to see Cincinnati lose now. Don't ask why, because you probably already know. But there was no stopping Ritter in this game. He was doing very well. And then Ford, the Cincinnati running back, had 15 carries for almost 150 yards, 1 off, and 2 TDs. So, all in all, they had 5 touchdowns offensively. 3 from Ritter, 2 from Ford in the rushing game. And they just... That game was over before it started. And then the last game I'm going to talk about are the games that already happened. Stanford, Arizona State. Now, I was talking to someone about this game the day before it happened, and they asked me, no, it was the day of. And they said, who you got, Arizona State or Stanford? I said, well, I got Arizona State because Stanford, even though I said something about them and they actually did something, they beat Oregon. I didn't think it was going to happen, but yes, they had a good game, but I was like, I think they go back to where they have been, fall back off that cliff, and I saw them having the hangover from that game carry over into this game, and then just getting smacked. Well, they did carry a hangover and lost 28-10 to Arizona State, so, I mean, McKee threw 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, was 27 of 45, and had 356 yards. They never handed the ball off. They only did it 7 times for 32 yards. Run game didn't really get going too much, but they also barely handed the ball off. And that is compared to Arizona State, who had 1 rushing touchdown. That's it. No passing touchdowns. Daniels was 14 of 23 for 175, and White was 13 carries, 96 yards, 1 TD. That's it. And one receiver, Hodges, got 4 receptions for 76 yards. So, obviously, it was a defensive game because Arizona State... Oh, wait, no. 3 different guys got rushing touchdowns. What? They had they had Daniels take it for 13 carries, their quarterback. White took it for 13 carries. They had another guy take it for 9 carries, and is that another one of the running backs? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, they had their other running back, their second string, take it for 9 carries. And then they had a receiver take it on what I assume was an end around for 22 yards and 1 TD. So the last touchdown had to be on one of the interceptions. I think it was. That touchdown went to... If it'll load. To DeAndre Pierce, a defensive back. So, well, we know why you're wearing number 2. Because you're good. But Stanford decided not to show up. And, well, I'm glad I said that they were going to have a hangover from last week. Because they did. But anyways, that was the college game day breakdown. Or the game day breakdown from me. And it is 12:02. Games are kicking off right now. I'm going to edit this and this will get out as soon as possible. I will see you guys later today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, with some more content.